And everyone can see the screen with the cutting board and the knife and everything. Sweet. All right. You do not have to have your video on. You're more than welcome to do it, but you do not have to have it on. Just have your, just so you can hear me and see what I'm doing here on this second screen. And if you can pin that screen with the cutting board, that's cool. I don't know how to do it from my end because I have two joined in, but if you can pin that part, that's the only one I'm going to talk out of today. Sweet. And I have my phone on me if you want to text me if you get stuck or lost or whatever. The technology part of this whole cooking with friends is sometimes a little difficult. Yep. So, all right. As long as you can see that, we're ready to go and you guys can hear me, I think we'll start. All right, sweet. All right, just to give you an overview, we're making potato leek soup tonight. I have a very large Dutch oven pot that I'm going to use for my potato leek soup. And I also have a grill pan because we're going to grill bread. If you have one of these, great. If you don't, no worries. We'll just put them under the broiler and I'll go through that too. But that's the only pots you need tonight. It's a pretty easy one pot soup. And we'll get started. I purposely don't bring anything out until we're actually going to cook. So I got bacon. I got leeks. I got potatoes. I got garlic. I'm going to leave the chives in the fridge. And my buttermilk and my cream I'm leaving in the fridge because we don't need those till the end. And then I got salt and pepper out. I need to run and grab some broth. But while you guys are at it, why don't you for those who are using bacon, open up your bacon and slice up 3 slices of bacon. All right. Cutting open my bacon. I really like this soup because it's even better the next day. And I think originally I saw it on the Food Channel with like Alton Brown or somebody, and I've tweaked it since then. I'm gonna use 4 slices of bacon. My dog wants the bacon. All right. And I'm gonna turn my burner on. If you haven't done that already, go ahead and put it to medium, maybe a little bit higher than medium. And I'm just gonna make little slices of bacon. And if you're not using bacon for this, Nate is a vegetarian. I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag here. That is totally fine. You can always put bacon on the side and top it. I'm gonna cut these in half too. And normally bacon has a ton of fat in it, and it does. But when it's cold out of the fridge, I like to put a little bit of olive oil in my pan. So I can just get the heat going. And so it doesn't just get sticky right away. All right, I'm gonna throw this in there. Get that moving. Washing my hands. Raw pork, not good. Unless you're a dog. Hi, Georgia. All right, I'm gonna use a wooden spoon tonight. Prefer just because I don't want to use metal on this pan, obviously. And then while that's frying up, I'm actually going to turn it up higher. I'm going to get a bunch of garlic. And I say bunch, I'm going to say like, I'm going to probably do 5 or 6 cloves of garlic. So peel that paper off if you have it. If you have garlic in a jar, that's totally fine. Just put in like, I don't know, 5 spoonfuls once the bacon's ready to go. But if you have raw garlic, clove garlic, that's the best. And already starting to get some sizzle. And for you vegetarians, garlic will be your base. So I'm gonna smash these, peel the paper off, throw it in the sink. I'll throw it in a bowl for composting later. Stirring. All right. Wait. All right. Just gonna chop this up. Doesn't need to be fancy. Sweet. Run my knife through it. Pick out the pieces of paper that I didn't get from the garlic. All right. Give my bacon a stir. I'm really scraping the bottom of my pan. If any of the bits have stuck, that's like liquid gold. So just scrape that with your spoon and really mix that up so you get that in there. And then I'll drop the garlic in when I'm ready here. A couple more cuts. Wait, all right. Cool. All right, scraping this. All right. And then I'm just going to take the top layer off because it's always dirty and it's probably not even worth it. Just a ton of dirt, and it's been involved in shipping and transportation. So I'm just going to rinse these off more. I'm actually going to take like a green onion. I want to get to like where it starts to turn the darkest, slice that off. And I don't need that dark green part. So get down to like near the end. And then so we got 2 big giant green onions or more. And then really look in there and rinse that out. And if you have to peel away a little bit, that's fine too. But by now, I think you'd probably be pretty close to being fairly clean. Not a lot of dirt below that level. Cool. All right, let's stir pot again. Make sure you're getting some good color on that stuff and the bacon, and the garlic's not burning. And then we're gonna chop all the leeks into pieces, so maybe like a centimeter. If you want to, you can slice it down the end and then chop it that way. We're gonna chop them in half anyway. I'll do one way and one the other. And just slice them into centimeter rings or chunks. We're gonna break this all down in the soup. But rough chop, really. Yep. Make sure you bend your knuckles in. Don't cut yourself chopping leeks. Not worth it. All right, there's one. I'm gonna push that to the side. Well, if you're into bacon, the bacon smells amazing. Sweet. Am I still frozen? Yes, I am still frozen.
You're good.
Okay, cool. All right, thank you. Sweet. All right. And then leaf number 2. I don't know where they grow these things. They're giant. I don't know if there's a leek capital of the world. You guys ever been to Gilroy, California? The garlic capital of the world? I bet there's a leek capital of the world. All right, I'm going to slice these up. Just rough chop these dudes. Yeah. All right, and I'm going to turn my heat up now. I've been kind of keeping it lower because the bacon's ready and the garlic's smelling good. So I'm going to turn it up to medium high, in between medium and high. And once you're ready for leeks, you kind of chopped up roughly. I'm going to put them in. Take your time on that. And then while you're at it, get your salt out, because we're going to salt them and then we're going to sweat them. All right, my leeks are going in. That one didn't get cut. All right. Sweet. You can hear them sizzle. Stir those around in there. That one didn't get cut. Sloppy. All right. You have garlic and potentially bacon and a bunch of leeks going in your pot. And then I have a salt grinder. So I'm just going to give it like 10 grinds and then stir it up. For me, there's quite a bit of salt in the bacon, and I can over salt things. So I'm just going to play it by ear and just do it gradually. If you're not using bacon, then Feel free to just to put in like a tablespoon of salt and just see, and we'll play with it from there on. But no matter what we do today, it'd be real hard to get to be the salty soup that you buy in a store. Maybe 4 more. Cool. And about 5 minutes, we're going to sweat these things. And I'm leaving it on medium high, right in between there, right below the high, really. All right. The next step is to add a little spice and heat. So I told you guys to grab your favorite hot sauce. You could do sriracha. You could do tapatio. I have a Ethiopian spice I really like that I get from a friend, but it's actually pretty intense. Tabasco would work fine. If you have Worcestershire sauce, that would totally work, but it's not going to give you a ton of spice. It just gives you a little depth of flavor. Yeah. Chula would work. Anything to give it a little kick that's not too bad for everyone in your family. I got some tapatio I'm going to put in there. A couple swigs, maybe more. And then I'm going to put a teaspoon of this spice. Maybe half a teaspoon. Something to. All right. And then I'm going to give it a stir. Almost done sweating this. And then we're going to crank it up a little higher. Cook to tender. Actually, we're going to turn it down to medium. Sorry. Now that we sweated it, we're going to turn it to medium. And it's really going to kind of cook down. And what you want to do with all this is make it like a single layer if you can. So you get a lot of it on the heat and it's not so piled high. So I'm just patting mine down. All right, so I'm going to wash. Go ahead and do that. Give you a break here. And then we'll wash the potatoes and then we'll cut those up. All right, give another stir. Should really be getting pretty soft. And the leeks have really lost their shape. And so it's going to get a lot smaller. It's a good time to grab a spoon. Probably both of you. And give it a taste. Because this is the base of your whole thing. And if you don't like the taste of it right now, you're not going to like the soup. It should be pretty intense. If it needs a little salt, go ahead and add it, or pepper, or more hot sauce. It should kind of have a back of the palate bite to it. And if it doesn't, add some more seasoning. I'm actually going to put some pepper in it. The original recipe called for white pepper, but I think that's totally overrated. All that is just different color pepper, because the soup comes out super white because of the cream. But I don't mind the chunks. In fact, the original recipe, I think, also calls to peel the potatoes, which I think is overrated too, because no one has time to peel potatoes on a weeknight. All right, I'm scraping bits off the bottom too. Really get that in there. Smells good. All right, I think I'm going to turn mine down a little bit lower than medium, because I got some good breakdown here. And then I'm going to start washing potatoes. I'm setting the ones over here to dry. It's like a pound of potatoes. And then, I'm just going to cut them into chunks. Big chunks first, so they grip. And then you can actually just dice them. Similar centimeter size to the leeks. But I'm actually going to cut them into like kind of 1 by 1 pieces. I'm getting that size of potatoes. Yeah. Everybody still good? Sweet. All right. Get all these potatoes chopped up. Got a little brown spot on one of mine. I'm going to cut that off. All right. And then you need a quart of broth, which I only have cans. So I'm going to look up how many ounces in a quart.
32.
Ha! Thanks, Mac. Sweet. I have one of those handy dandy measurement equivalent things, but it doesn't have quart on there.
Ooh.
Nice. Good assist. Thanks, Mac. All right. All right. When you're ready with your potatoes and your your broth. Go ahead and throw them in the soup, in the pot. Yep. Stir them around. I'm using chicken broth, but you can definitely use vegetable broth. You probably could use beef broth. I've never done it with beef broth. Um, and then and turn your burn once you get that broth in. You're not frying anymore. You're boiling. So turn that up to high, and we'll get a boil going, and then we'll cover it, and then we'll simmer it for a bit. Okay. All right. It should cover all your potatoes. If it doesn't, you could add a little water. Definitely want to cover your potatoes. Those things got to cook down. And I'm going to scrape a bunch of stuff off the sides of my pan because that's awesome stuff. Give it a good stir. And mine's cranked up to high. Sweet. All right. We got a little time to make this happen on the soup. And so what I'm going to do is I'm wipe down my area. I'm going to slice some bread. I'm going to make a little salad. If you bought a bag salad, that's a great call. Get that out. Find your favorite dressing. If you don't have a dressing, let me know. We can talk through one. Drying this off a bit. I'm going to keep my garlic out. I'm going to get a fresh spoon, actually. Let me just taste this a little bit. Not a potato, but it's raw. Okay, sweet. I like it so far. All right. I got a grill pan. I'm going to move my soup, actually, to where you can't see it because it's not very exciting right now. Should be able to see some of it. Yeah. Bring it up to a boil still. You can use olive oil, whichever one is good for you on the bread. If you're going to use olive oil, I just get a little bowl, pour some in there, and then just dip the bread in there, and then I'll put it on this grill pan. With a grill pan like this, with the grills in it, you never want to oil the pan. You always don't want to oil what you're cooking. And then if you're using the broiler, I'm just going to put a little foil down. Like that. And I'll do the same thing. I'll actually, let's see. I put butter on this one. We'll do that. I'll have a taste test of what was better. All right, so take the oil away for now. And then I'm going to butter these ones that I'm going to broil. And back to your soup real quick. If you're starting to see it boil, that's great. I am. I'm going to cover mine now and reduce the heat. So go ahead and cover. Let me give it a stir. Yeah, ooh, nice. And then reduce the heat to medium low or low. If you have to crack your lid a little bit, that's okay, so it doesn't boil over, but probably just go a little above low. And then the broiler should be pretty hot, actually. Put these on there. Okay. All right, so I'm busy right now. Thank you. Yeah. All right, and then just check your toast. Feel free to shove it in there. What some people like to do to really get it down is you can put another pan on it. And just the weight of the other pan will press into that grill. And then you get some good grill marks. All right, my broiler's not quite hot enough yet, but we got plenty of time. We're still cooking on the soup, and I'm grilling some bread, and I'm gonna get some bowls out and some napkins and spoons and all that stuff. And I'm gonna plate for when my bread is ready. And I'm gonna use tongs. Yeah, look at that. Sweet. And if you need to put more oil on the other side, just grab a spoon, one of your spoons, and drizzle it. Let me flip those back over and I'll do that. Or just pour what's in your bowl on the top real quick. And that will work just fine. One more glug for that guy. All right, sweet. And then we're gonna flip the bread. Yeah. And some got more char than the others, so I'm gonna move them around so they all get equal char or close to it. All right. We are almost there. Go ahead and get your chives out and your whipping cream and your buttermilk. And what did I say? A cup of heavy cream and a cup of buttermilk. And you can mix them together if you have a 2-cup measuring cup. Totally fine. Or you can do 1 and 1. Doesn't matter. They're going in the same pot. All right. So 1 cup heavy cream. In a pinch, I've used whole milk for one of these. I think buttermilk. I didn't have buttermilk. So, and that was it actually turned out great. So, and then did that do the shake? 2 cups buttermilk. All right. I don't know what else I use buttermilk for besides pancakes. Does anyone make buttermilk pancakes anymore?
We use buttermilk for pancakes.
Oh,
It's classic.
Yeah, fantastic. It's got
But
a
I have
really
no
good
idea what
tang
else you use it for.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't use it for anything else. I rarely buy it. But it's got that really cool tang to it that will be really good in the soup. So, all right. I'm actually going to turn my heat off on my soup, and I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to give it a nice stir. I'm going to check. I'm going to find my biggest potato chunk and pull that out and see how that feels. So I left a big chunk here. I'll take this guy out, roll in it. That's hot. But it should be pretty soft. Yeah. Yeah, we're good. If you have that, let me know. Or better yet, if you don't have soft potato, let me know. One soft potato, Nate. 1 more minute.
I think another minute or so. And
Okay.
close.
All good.
Great.
Yeah, feel free. Totally fine. All right. Mac and Daniel, last chance to add flavor to the soup is right now. So I'm actually just going to taste the broth. I just want to make sure that it's good enough for me here. Don't burn your tongue. That's good. It should be decently salty. And all that buttermilk and cream will dilute that down. All right. The fancy way to do this would be to pour this into a blender after we put the milk and stuff in. And we would blend it up so it's super smooth and creamy and looks fancy. Some people have like an immersion blender. I do not have an immersion blender. I think those people that do are totally fine. I just don't have one. I actually like the rustic feel of the soup with just the way it is. But if you have a potato masher, you could use it. I have been known to use it on this food to break up the potatoes a little bit. Let's see if I can find it. But if you do have a potato masher, then go ahead and grab it, and we'll mash some potatoes in the soup. There it is. Georgia is wondering what I'm doing. All right, I got this potato masher. Yep, little hand masher. Yeah, just break some up. Just move it around slowly. You'll get a little splash. But feel free to break some up. Just push them right into the bottom. And while you're on the bottom, just scrape up everything from the bottom too. Yep. And then once you feel like you got all the potatoes kind of smashed down, or you don't see any big chunks anymore or whatnot, you're good to go to pour the cream and your buttermilk in. Give it a nice stir. Yep. And your heat should be totally off. You can actually move it off the heat if you need to. Give it a nice stir. Yeah, it should go nice and white with some beautiful green leek chunks that are floating right to the surface. Nice color to that. Little pieces of leek. And occasional bacon, if you had it. And then I'm just going to take my chives. I bought some chives in a thing, in a little bin. I don't have chives at this hour growing. Give them a quick rinse under warm water. If you can get warm water real quick. Warm water. And go ahead and pinch them or bash them or roll them or whatever you want to do with them. Kind of get that flavor out. You can take the back of your knife and smash them like you did the garlic. Totally fine. Anything that's really black or whatever, dark, just go ahead and toss. And then I just really finely slice these. And if you have just green onions, that works too. You didn't get chives, totally fine. It's more of a garnish. We're going to put a little bit on the bread, and we're going to pour some on your soup. But if you don't have them, it's totally optional. No big deal. It's just dinner. Weeknight dinner. All right. I'm going to drop a few in now. Get some color in there, really bright green. And then I'm going to take some and drop them on my bread so it looks fancy. Yep. And then I'm going to put some in a little bowl, a little dish, and then people can put them on their soup. All right. All right, final tasting. Grab your spoon, wash it off if you need to. Give your soup a little taste. That's pretty good. I'm going to put a little more pepper in it. I think mine has enough salt. All right, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you have questions.